Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Gatry Persaud. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment during this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. It's official. Russia has invaded Ukraine. Explosions and blasts could be seen in various cities in Ukraine. Ukraine's president urged people to remain calm, even though he says Vladimir Putin is on a path of evil. These are images of people lining up in Ukraine to get money from their banks in preparation for the attack on their city. But a CNN film crew in Kharkiv witnessed this strong image that speaks to the sort of desperation of this moment in Ukraine. A small group of people gathered in the freezing cold in the middle square of their city, kneeling and praying because right now they have no idea what is going to happen. Members of the UN call this the saddest day, and leaders from around the world are calling on Russia to stand down. President Biden says this is an unprovoked and unjustified attack by Russian military forces and tweeted, "The world will hold Russia accountable for what happens in Ukraine." Let's bring in our Sign1News anchor in France, Vanessa Paloma Bajarnik, to share more. Hello, Gatry. Can you explain what's happening in Europe? Well, first, Russia's president came on television about 4 o'clock in the morning to make the announcement. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, the bombing started in Ukraine. People were asleep at the time and didn't know what was going on, and they woke up in a panic. And then around noon, the military tanks started rolling in. Helicopters were in the air. People in Ukraine started fleeing their city, backing up traffic for miles. Russia's armies invaded various cities. The European Union is not happy with Russia, saying that there is a lack of respect. NATO is very upset as well and worried and warned Russia to stop and back down. Visas have been cut off in various regions. And they're also stopping visas for various Russian individuals. So far, 40 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed. Tanks are barreling through the region and destroying buildings. It's complete chaos. It's really hard to watch. Putin is showing no compassion. That's what Ukraine's president said, that he was evil, destroying everything without a care. Can you share what some of your friends are going through today? They are concerned and dejected to see what's happening in the Ukraine. Ukrainians do not want a war, just peace and possible negotiations. But Russia invaded anyway, without a word. That is so heartbreaking. I really don't know what to say except that Ukraine is in our thoughts and in our prayers. Yes, we need a resolution. We do not want a third world war, but we'll stay optimistic. Well, thank you for sharing with us today. Thank you for being here. We know it's really late in the night where you are, so thank you for showing up and sharing this with us. Thank you as well. We will continue to watch the developments and provide updates of what's going on in Europe. The crisis between Ukraine and Russia is hitting Americans at the gas pump. Gas prices are at their highest in more than 7 years, and analysts warn there's no relief in sight. Russia is one of the world's largest oil producers, and if the crisis escalates, some experts fear Russia could cut off natural gas exports in retaliation for sanctions by the U.S. and the European Union. In Las Vegas, 35-year-old Brandon Tossell has been arrested after authorities found the body of a young boy in a freezer in his garage. Police got involved after the boy's sister handed a note written by his mother to her elementary school teacher, explaining that the mother's boyfriend was holding her against her will inside their home, and she didn't know where her son was. When police arrived, the mother said she had not seen her son since December of last year. And after searching the home, police found the boy's body in the freezer. Opening statements have begun in the trial of Brett Hankinson, the former Louisville, Kentucky police officer charged in connection to the raid that led to the killing of Breonna Taylor back in March of 2020. However, the lead prosecutor reminded jurors this case was not about Taylor, the no-knock search warrant, or reforms at the Louisville Police Department. But it was about Hankinson endangering others by blindly firing 10 shots during the raid. The defense argues that Hankinson fired after he saw gunfire, thinking his fellow officers were in danger. Hankinson has pleaded not guilty. As the daily count of COVID-19 cases continues to plummet, dozens of businesses and schools are dropping masking rules and other COVID safety protocols. Some feel it might be too soon to drop COVID mandates. But a group of truck drivers from all over the country say they are making their way to Washington, D.C. to protest the government's COVID mandates. Some are expected to arrive on March 1st to coincide with President Biden's State of the Union speech. 700 National Guard members will be on standby, and D.C.'s police chief says the city is already in preparation mode. Pepsi is introducing its latest drink called Nitro Pepsi. It's the first nitrogen-infused cola, which Pepsi says has a smoother and creamier taste. Nitrogen is commonly used in some beers and coffee beverages, creating a foamy texture. Nitro Pepsi is set to make its national debut on March 28th and comes in regular and vanilla flavors. Pepsi recommends customers drink Nitro Pepsi without ice and straws to help keep the drink as foamy as possible. Have you heard of the 18 for 18 challenge? A mother in Minnesota came up with the idea when she saw her daughter too engrossed in her apps and social media feeds, and it was affecting her mood and relationships. So when her son was 12, she offered him this deal. Stay off social media entirely until you're 18, and she would give him $1,800. Her son said his decision to say yes was easy because he wasn't too active on social media to begin with, and he kept his promise. He's now 18, headed off to college with $1,800 in his pocket. And interestingly enough, he said he'd do it again. It was worth it. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. Then this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, join us for a live panel of diverse guests to discuss the hot topics of the week. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Roku, Amazon, and Apple TV. Thank you. Have a great day.